Thank you for watching. Thank you. Today we are going to be talking about the lockdown imposed by the interim government and other allied groups for the lockdown for 20 May, the 19th and the 20th. And that lockdown is going to be enforced by the restoration forces back in ground zero. We are this is not new. It's a usual lockdown every year for 20 May, just like 11th of February. And we are seeing this civil disobedience being imposed because we have the interim government have banned any activities of the Cameroon regime trying to portray their control over Amazonia land. This is because for the past years that this crisis have gone on, the Cameroon government has rejected peaceful negotiation process, and we are saying that because this civil disobedience is what the people have made as a normal disobedience. Like Monday goes down is the usual one. Every Monday there is no activity in Amazonia. Okay, there's total lockdown every Monday, and we also lock down on certain days that Cameroon still take it as their national days. We don't celebrate the same national days with Cameroon regime. So those days are days that are imposed lockdown days. Okay, and for the past years we understand the implication of lockdown. We know the interim government has always used this with other groups, have made lockdown like a normal priority. Okay, this time around, this 20th May, we have just 2 days. The 19th and the 20th May will be a lockdown day. Okay, and it's very important for us to understand why this is happening, because of the fact that they don't want anything to do with La Republique. This is the communique by the interim government to impose that lockdown, and it's very important because it's just a document that tells us what. Okay, as you can see, this is the document here. Okay, that's the document. The lockdown is imposed because the government, I will read it so that you can know the content of the lockdown, why the interim government has imposed this lockdown alongside other groups. Okay, so it reads, the subject is 20th May lockdown of Amazonia. In light of the declaration of Ambazonia's independence in September 2017, reaffirming our sovereignty, in light of the interim government's prohibition of all socio-political activities initiated or orchestrated by La République du Cameroon within Ambazonian territory, in light of Ambazonians' persistent evasion of negotiation to resolve the escalating conflict, now entering its 8th year, while shamelessly attempting to impose its political agenda on our land, we categorically reject any semblance of celebration associated with the so-called 20th of May orchestrated by a foreign regime, La République. The interim government of Ambazonia, in unison with the Ambazonian Restoration Fighters, ARF, and Allied Liberation Movement, hereby declares a 2-day uncompromising lockdown of Ambazonia on Sunday, May 19, and Monday, May 20th. During this period, all establishments, businesses, and transportation services are strictly forbidden from operating. Only essential medical facilities and personnel shall be prohibited to function and solely for emergencies. We urge every citizen to stockpile essential supplies, food, water, and medication in preparation for this lockdown. Remember, we all shall live as free people or embrace martyrdom in our fight for liberation. Signed by the President of the Interim Government, Chris Ano. So that is a communique. We are seeing this because the people of Ambazonia have used lockdown as a measure of defiance to the Cameroon government that has rejected peaceful negotiation settlement. Okay, and that is what we have used for the past 7 years. Okay, but what is 20th May in the first place? Okay, the role of 20th May is very controversial, right? It's a very controversial event in Ambazonia. So why should we celebrate it when 20th May is the day of the fake referendum that led to the annulation or the annulment of the federal system? So we cannot go and celebrate that day that instead trying to wipe out our identity as a people, okay, and they call it reunification. I don't understand why they call it that way, but how does that day affect our people? It affects our people because historically it takes us back to where the fake unification of Cameroon and the British Southern Cameroon was seen by many Ambazonia as a day of to reckon with, especially when it comes to making us become engulfed and our identity being wiped out. That is what we remember of 20th May, historically speaking. Okay, 20th May reminds us of the dictatorship of Aijo. It also reminds us of the dictatorship of Paul Biya, the human rights abuses on our people. This day, the celebration of 20th May in Ambazonia has also been associated with the militarization imposed on the people of Ambazonia. Remember, when this federal system was annulled, La Republic brought in their gendarmes. So these gendarmes were just brought in as a French occupational force. Okay, why we don't have gendarmes in Nigeria? Why we don't have gendarmes in all these other English-speaking countries? Because they never use gendarmes. Okay, they never use all these SDOs and all these people. They never use them. So this is an important message. Okay, the lack of recognition of our own identity. Okay, many Ambazonians understand that 20th May was a cancellation of our identity. Okay, the Cameroon government took it as a means to recolonize Ambazonia and also to what we call assimilation. Okay, that policy was to make us think French, believe French, and that's why today we see some Ambazonians still behaving like French people. They still behave like French people. You will have a kind of system that is corrupt, a kind of system that is not working, a kind of system that is so CPDM oriented, and you think that something good can come out from it. It's a one-party system, it's a dictatorship system, it's a corrupt system, it's a failed system, it's a failed state. What good can you copy from a failed state? So the La Republic people have their own way of looking at it. Ambazonians have their own way of looking at it. Okay, but from a standpoint of Ambazonia, we don't need that in our territory. The 20th May celebration, we don't need it. We don't need anything that has to do with telling us to go and be marching on our demise, on our own dilemma. Okay, we have called for independence since the day that this 20th May was imposed on us. Now, okay, the federal system that Aijo annulled, the 1972 federal system that was annulled, the referendum that was held, in 1972, 20th of May. Okay, the people of Ambazonia have been fighting since that day to regain their autonomy, to regain their identity. Because when the federal system was, Aijo had to centralize everything. That is when we started going to Yaoundé to sign document. Boya was there to do everything. Bamenda was there to do everything. We had our own regional capital. What was wrong for our pensioners to remain in Boya, to collect their documents in Boya, everything was taken to Yaoundé. Headquarters of all our companies was taken to Yaoundé. Pamol, the headquarters is in Yaoundé. So the one there that you see there is just a small office there. It has nothing to do with the management of anything. They have taken the CDC to Yaoundé, taken Sonara to Yaoundé, taking all these companies, okay, and they are being controlled by them. So what good can come out from that kind of system, which is so corrupt and, you know, okay. So we are talking about lockdown because this is part of our own civil disobedience by the Amazonian people, okay, and it has worked so well in the past, okay, and this is part of the struggle for independence. Anything that we do is part of the struggle, because this lockdown is imposed against any activities that related to this particular 20th of May ceremony, okay, and so it's a protest against the celebration and to prevent any so this is part of what we are saying, that we have to make sure that we respect these lockdowns, we respect the ghost towns, we respect all this, because it helps us galvanize for the struggle, okay. That is why the good thing is that this 20th May has also fall on a Monday, a day that is a usual ghost town. So it's a nice thing, because people will just know that Monday is a no-go day. People will stay home than to go and be marching for, no just cause, okay. Yeah. Now we hear our brother Capo Daniel gathered some activists and some leaders that he has a meeting with the United Nations. But when that meeting was held, the truth came out, right? The Capo Daniel's meeting was based on the fact that he wanted to call for a cessation of the struggle, cessation of that's what the paper said. So his document came out and said, okay, he had some meeting with some activists and some leaders, and they have called for the cessation of hostilities. So we want to ask our brother Capo Daniel, you left ADC ADF as a chairman, you went and formed your own party. Don't you think that the party is just part of, that your party is just a political party? It has nothing to do with activism? Because instead of you joining your other fellow members and organizations to continue the struggle, you are creating your own thing to go out of the struggle. Yes, that's what is happening. Okay, and it's very difficult for us to figure out what's happening more than that. But okay, yeah. So okay. At times we see a lot of things, but when you see things happening, that letter that Capo Daniel wrote, that is it. You can see it. Let me read the letter that Capo Daniel wrote after his meeting with he says some leaders, that he had a meeting with some leaders, right? This is what he read. He said, cessation of hostilities by the Ambazonian People's Right Advocacy Platform. Okay. He reads, today, the 4th of May 2024, the People's Advocacy Platform delays that after a cabinet session, I don't know who are the cabinet members. Its members have unanimously adopted a resolution to end all hostilities against the Cameroon state in regard to Ambazonian conflict. We have resolved to choose the non-violent approach to our fight for the right of self-determination of the English-speaking. This is Capo Danielo saying that he went and wrote this his declaration of his group that he formed by himself, that he held a cabinet meeting. So this is what he is saying. So he said we call on all our forces. I don't know if he has any of the forces. So we call on all our forces to stop all hostilities, and each should decide on DDR and disarmament until a negotiated settlement with the Cameroon government is achieved. You know, this is right. This is just laughable. You alone go and write something and say it's the leaders that have decided. Okay, I always say this. Many leaders have tried all this thing that Capo is doing, but you know that it will not work when you take decisions, the kind of thing by yourself. It will not work because people want their freedom, and anything you bring short of freedom will just be a laughing stock on you. Our people are very serious to make sure that they reach Boya, they take back their land. So whatever somebody's bringing now is just, like I said, laughable, because you can't make this decision by yourself. You can't take this decision by yourself and you want people to believe in you, right? It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. Okay? And you keep doing all those things. Now, this issue of Wazizi, you remember Wazizi? Wazizi was brutally killed by La Republic government. Okay, this is Wazizi behind me. You can see the photo of Wazizi. This is a journalist that was killed by La Republic government, and the Cameroon government has never investigated the killers of Wazizi. Whereas the other journalist that was killed in Yaoundé, the Martinez Zogo, many people are in jail as we speak. Because the same way Wazizi was killed is the same way Martinez Zogo was killed. His body was mutilated. He was very, very badly wounded, and he was killed in a very gruesome manner. But now, when you compare the reaction of the Cameroon government towards Wazizi and the reaction of Cameroon government towards Martinez Zogo, is night and day. Because not only have we not seen the corpse of Wazizi, they have never investigated who killed Wazizi in the first place. He was a journalist reporting his news and doing his things. Ma'am, they pick him up. Okay, so if they can do that to people who are here, then think of it. It's so crazy. Cameroon government does not care about the life of Ambazonians. If they do, they would have done the same thing that they did for Martinez Zogo, for Wazizi. And this is not only the only journalists that have mysteriously been killed, okay? Not the only journalists. So Wazizi is just one of them. Okay, when you look at this, what they write here is justice for Samuel Wazizi. Okay, and we are saying that if Mimi Mefo cannot mention Wazizi, because there was an article that Mimi Mefo was talking about justice and peace, through this means, but when you look at the killings, that is when you know the difference between the justice system of La Republic and the justice system of our own common law system, the civil and common law system. Wazizi was assassinated. We don't know where his body is. He was gruesomely killed, and today, this is what we got. We don't know where his body is. But Ambazonians are being supported by people across the globe. No matter what happened, you see people going out trying to put their voices there for Ambazonia. Okay, one of those people is our very strong comrade who is a German citizen. Okay, Christopher Messner. He's a very, very staunch Ambazonian supporter. I want to play some of his outing recently, calling for the release of the Naira 10 and other incarcerated Ambazonian in the dungeons of La Republic prison in Kondingi, so that we can, yeah, that's video. I'll have to edit that video later because the video is not good, so I'll edit it later. Okay, it's not good. Yeah, that video didn't come out well, so I'll only play it later. Okay, but yeah, he was calling for the release of the Naira 10 and all these people that were incarcerated, falsely incarcerated in the dungeons of La Republic. Okay, but as time goes on, we are saying that the people of La Republic are increasingly coming out in their masses to condemn the use of this method to keep our people in bondage, right? But the people of the Republic now are trying to make sure that they themselves say enough is enough, and they will stand up for their own right. If not, then they are doomed. Okay, they are doomed. Yes, and it's very heartbreaking to see someone like the EU ambassador. The EU ambassador is going around saying that election will be something that will be better for Ambazonia. Okay, despite all these failures, you know, the EU ambassador is calling for that election will be good. This is what we get from Cameroon News Agency. Okay, EU ambassador urges youth seeking change to use the ballot path. I mean, when you see a rogue regime, this is not only a rogue regime; it's a dictatorship regime, and you expect you expect them to run smooth, fair election. So it's just crazy, right? How the EU ambassador will be calling for that people should vote. The youths that are seeking change should vote if they want change. I mean, what kind of change can you get in a system that doesn't work? What change? When we talk of change, what kind of change are you talking about? A change to re-elect the same person every 7 years, and the same people in government, all people, you keep them there. Is that a change that this EU ambassador is saying? You see, this is why we have been saying that the European countries are running their smooth, free, fair, transparent elections. They don't want that to happen in Ambazonia. So we are asking that, is it because they don't like African countries to progress or what? Because when you want smooth, free, fair election happening you don't want free elections to happen in African countries, but you want that to happen in your own country. Okay. Yeah, we are asking, why is it that most of the elections in Africa is not smooth, transparent, but you keep on supporting this government in place, and you say, oh, the election are smooth, free, fair, transparent, whereas they are not, because when you look at the election and the electoral process, they'll send some fake people to go there and say they are election observers. Whereas those people who go there are not even there to observe the election. They are just people bought over to come and sit down and be watching what is happening. They are spectators rather than people who come for any active, transparent, free, fair election. But you see, this EU ambassador will be here telling us of let the youths go and vote. Since when did the vote count in Cameroon? Since when they duped Frundi? Has the vote ever been smooth, free, fair in that country? Has Bia ever won one election? That's a question you should ask in the first place. Because every election has been rigged, and rigged. So what kind of transparent election are you talking about? What election has ever been smooth, free, fair, and transparent? Ask yourself. And so why waste time for a one-party system? So it's so sad. Okay, but that is what we have. Please make sure you share. We had some hitches with my other channel, so I'm trying to work with YouTube to bring on my other channel. So for the meantime, you sign up for this channel, you subscribe to this channel for updated video. Also, I have my Facebook channels. You also subscribe my Facebook channel. But this one, make sure you subscribe here also. This is my I Didn't Mind Media channel. I'll be coming live for my YouTube on this channel for the meantime while I finalize with my other channel. So thank you for watching, and God bless you. God bless Ambazonia. God bless Africa. Thank you.